gonna jump right into Kanye once again. This is another Kanye topic. Kanye apparently, like I said in the previous video, Kanye is preparing a new album. I believe this is a solo thing, not any kind of collaborative thing like what he got going on with Ty Dolla Sign. This is the next Kanye solo album. It is apparently called Bully, and it's eagerly being anticipated by those who are anticipating it. And and one of the things that have come out of it is Kanye's use of AI in putting the album together. That turned a little bit of heads. People thought that it was a bit odd that Kanye would be such a heavy endorser of AI, but he is, and he's actively using it in the construction of his latest album, and he is bullish on it. He's not going to come off of it, and he loves the use of AI with creating his music now. So this says Kanye West admits to using AI and explains why he won't stop. Kanye West will be using artificial intelligence in the making of his upcoming album, Bully. He confirmed during a new interview with Justin LeBoy for the Download podcast. The two hosted a viewing party for the interview on Sunday during the Grammy Awards. As caught by NPR podcast, NFR, as caught by NFR podcast, West explained that he's incorporating the technology in a similar fashion to auto-tune. He also wants to make AI more accepted in the music industry. Fans on X do not appear to be happy about the decision. Damn, talent through the floor, so he had to use AI. I fear my GOAT is washed and talentless, one user wrote. Another added, AI for sound is okay, AI for lyrics is not. Kanye is known for saying real stuff that connects with people. That's why his fans are so loyal. They know him and can relate to him after listening to his music. AI just can't compete with the divinity of God, which flows through Ye. So speaking of God.
Exactly, right. Only people that believes in that in him would say that.
Right. Yeah. Others came to West's defense over the move. I mean, if he's using like auto tunes, it's no different than any other plugin, long as it's not literally writing and performing the tracks for him, one user wrote. The comments come after West faced rampant AI speculation on social media last week as a new snippet from his Bully album surfaced online. West has been hard at work on the project since announcing it during a performance in China last year. He recently credited his daughter, North, with helping him fall back in love with making music. This little girl made me love music again. She asked me to make beats for her. I got back on the ASR, chopped up beats for her album, and chopped every beats with my bare hand for Bully, he wrote in a post on Instagram. He's been living in Tokyo while working on the project. Jim Jones, of all people, recently made the trip out to Japan to visit West and revealed on Instagram that he was able to listen to Bully. He described the project as so crazy and said it's going to be a big problem. Oh, for whatever that's worth, coming from Jim Jones.
Like I give a damn.
So what do you think about this, man? Kanye using the AI in his music and he will not stop.
I think it's a big problem. I think it's a big problem. I think that's so crazy. Why the hell would he do such a thing? Well, I'll tell you why. Because he's a talentless hack. That's what it is. How does a musical genius who tries to compare himself to the likes of Beethoven and Mozart to turn around and use AI-generated lyrics or any damn thing else in order to craft your music? So to me, it's all fugazi. I think the only thing that he actually put pen to pad on was College Dropout. I think that's the only thing that he actually passionately wrote for himself. It may have been some on the next one, but I honestly think that's about it. I've heard that Kanye's had a lot of writers help him out throughout his career. So I'm pretty sure the Watch the Throne thing, it's his input, but it's not his words. You know, I think he had a lot of help writing. So if he was cooking up all these beats himself, and which now I'm going to call under skepticism, but even if he cooked all these beats himself, what he is now doing is he's relying on the use of AI to do what humans did for him.
Yes.
So he's cutting out the middleman that he's always had to pay for. And so I see this as his opportunity to him thinking he's smarter than everybody else still, and trying to liken this to the likes of autotune, which is not, bro. This is not autotune. And so I'm not for this, bro. So if he's going to sit there and rap something like his girlfriend wrote it, this was what it is. His girlfriend wrote it, right? Oh, he just downloaded the software into her, and then she spit this thing out, apparently. You know what I'm saying? So he seems to be in love with the robots nowadays, man. So I can't get down with this. And again, somebody that's supposed to be some type of musical genius, I don't think they would ever lean on the likes of AI generation. What a 180 from somebody like Andre 3000. So, what are your thoughts, man, on Kanye saying that, hey, bro, I'm out here and I'm going to use AI generation to help me draft my album. And it's no different than auto tunes. Yeah, right. What are your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, two for two. I don't like it either. I'm not a fan. You know, we just got finished talking about Kanye and his wife showing up and his wife is naked at the Grammys, and I said, this is evidence of Kanye actually being a mainstream puppet,
Mm-hmm.
because I think the mainstream powers that be
Mm-hmm.
want to envision a world in which everyone in it is acting on their sexual energy and not using their brain. I
1000.
believe that that is a mainstream mechanism. I believe that that's a mainstream machination.
Mm-hmm.
I also believe the elimination of humans in the workforce is a mainstream machination.
Mm-hmm.
I believe AI's, I've said this before, I believe AI's true purpose is to remove humans from the workforce.
Mm-hmm.
We can talk all day about how it makes people's lives more convenient, about how it makes this easier, about how it makes this more accessible, blah, 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 blah. I don't give a damn about none of that. AI's ultimate application at the end of the day is going to be able to eliminate humans from the workforce,
Mm-hmm.
cut the labor force out,
Mm-hmm.
so that the corporations and the big wigs and the people on the other side of the wealth gap at the top can eat even more than they already have been eating.
Yes.
A company, an employer, an organization's biggest expense is labor. And if you can eliminate that, you're making even more money, revenue, and profits hand over fist year over year. That, I believe, is AI's true purpose. I don't care about any of this stuff about unlocking creativity or making stuff more convenient. Its true purpose is eliminating labor so that you can make more money. And that to me is a form of mainstream. That is as mainstream as it gets as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Corporations making even more money,
Mm-hmm.
and having individuals suffer in the process. That to me is as mainstream as it gets. And so with Kanye now, I look at this and I say, damn, this dude really is mainstream.
Yeah.
Like, if I thought he was mainstream as it is with his wife's behavior and actions, I think he's even more mainstream because of his adamant, um, you know, uh, his adamant backing of AI's use in creative spaces. Because you're 100% right. The first thing that I thought of with this is how many producers, how many engineers are going to be eliminated from your music making process because you can replicate what they can do, although not as good and not with as much soul, by using some sort of robot or technological application. Who's being cut from the payroll by you doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Who's now not gonna who is now going to be out of a check? Who's the engineer who's now out of a check? Who's the sound editor who's now out of a check? Who's the person who's real good on Pro Tools who's now out of a check because you could just replicate what they do with AI? I don't like this, bro.
Need.
I don't like it. And I guess I'm old guy who doesn't like new stuff. I don't give a damn. People need stuff to do. People need things to do. And if I'm tripping off of this and I'm blowing it out of proportion, why were the actors and the writers last year striking with the movie studios for AI protections?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm blowing this out of proportion and AI isn't the existential crisis that I believe it will become, why were they fighting for AI protections?
Hmm.
If it's not that big of a deal and people are still going to be good, there's no need to fight over it. There's no need to create a new agreement, a new CBA in Hollywood that protects working creatives from being replaced by automation. So the one thing that I used to say is that I felt like laborers were going to be the first to go. And I thought that there was
Hmm.
a chance where the only thing to go was laborers.
Hmm.
So if you work with your hands, if you do factory work, if you drive trucks, if you do delivery of any sort, if you go to retail and you buy and you still buy things in person, those people, right? Truck drivers, delivery drivers, people who work in retail, customer service representatives, because you can get a robot to answer the phone too. They're doing
Hmm.
it now. These days, if you're trying to get to somebody, you know, and there's an AI chat. You're rarely even talking to a human if you're trying to, get the customer service on any kind of thing on the internet. You type in something and the AI generates an automated response. It's not even a real person. Some of these applications don't even have phone numbers anymore
Yep.
because it's like, well, you don't need a phone number, just use the AI chat. There's no humans working in these places. The only humans that are working in these places are those being contracted by these corporations to service their automation technology.
Yep.
Other than that, no one's working. So back to what I was getting at, I thought that laborers were going to be the ones that got the axe because of this. Nah,
Hmm.
man, it looks like creatives are going to get the axe too.
Yep.
We're all getting screwed, and it sucks because Kanye is somebody who I used to have tremendous respect for in terms of preserving the sanctity of art and creativity. I feel is now actively a part of what's bastardizing it.
Yeah.
And it sucks, bro. I feel for the I'm in fearful for whatever is going to happen with the everyday common man, but I'm now also fearful for what's coming for creatives because what's their fallback plan? What's the person who all they know how to do is be a sound engineer or
Hmm.
work Pro Tools? What are they supposed to do now? Go back to college and learn how to do IT? And we are eliminating people left and right, and no one seems to give a damn. And even creatives themselves are trying to figure out ways to cut costs on labor so that they can make more of the profits for themselves. It's unfortunate. It really is. I am not a fan of this. It's happening though. I can't stop it. It's coming like a tsunami. Excuse me, and it'll be here. And I'm just in fearful of what the world is going to look like when it's become the normal, the mainstay, because that's what I think the true purpose of this stuff is to just eliminate people. We should be trying to figure out ways to preserve people as much as possible, but we seem to be in a rush to eliminate as many people as possible, and I think that's what this symbolizes. And I do think it's unfortunate.
Yeah, man. And if you heard the last album that he did with Ty Dolla Sign, because I was curious. I was like, let me see what's going on. Because at least Ty, when he first came out and he was floating around and doing things, he would make some stuff that was catchy here and there. So I was like, okay, well, let me see what they did. That was the most mishmashy. It sounded rushed. It didn't sound it didn't sound like anything that had any passion in it. It sounded like a cash grab.
You know what it reminded me of? It was the musical equivalent of when you watch a movie and all of the special effects are just green screen CGI.
All of it.
It's like I can't even enjoy this movie because the whole thing looks fake.
And it's not even good CGI.
Exactly right.
Yeah, it's not even good CGI. It's poor. It's like literally it's like if it came on a sci-fi channel, but not they but they released this in theaters. I was like, why the hell would I pay? Y'all got this in IMAX? Like I give a damn? It was terrible. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to watch that last Avatar movie, and I couldn't get over how I was like, this is 2024. You know, like, shouldn't we have gotten crispier? But y'all had how many years to make this?
Hey man, I watched Ant Man and the Wasp: Quantumania for the
Hmm.
first time last night.
Hmm.
I was so disappointed. I'm watching. I'm like, y'all got this is the MCU, big budget Disney. Y'all got more money than God, and y'all are forcing people to follow along with all of these movies to keep up with the story,
Mm-hmm.
making people pay for Disney Plus to watch all your little TV shows to keep up with the story,
Mm-hmm.
fragmenting the hell out of your audience. And the least you can do is put together a product that's believable on screen. And I was so disappointed. I'm watching this movie, and the whole thing looked like one giant green screen fiesta. I was very disappointed.
I mean, and I can't, bro. I'm gonna get out of watch, bro, just so I can cringe. But yeah, man, I was really trying to watch. I mean, listen to that album, and I think the first few songs were so bad, and I think I was doing something, so I was like, I didn't change. I was like, let me see how bad this can get. It got worse progressively, and it was like, it was, because he's admitted in the past that he had a corn addiction. That he was a little bit too obsessed with sex. So I'm not surprised that he walks around with a woman like that. I'm not surprised that he will want a woman that other men would want to smash. I'm not surprised he's into this kinky, weird stuff. And that album, I think I heard somebody say this before, but it was real horny. It was a horny album. He was always talking about sex. And, Ty Dolla Sign, he'll do anything for a dollar sign, apparently. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I took him to a higher esteem, at least musically. He's an industry guy for sure. But I thought that he would, I don't know. But he was right in line with the shenanigans. So I was like, man, this is a piece of crap. So if you heard his last album, you heard the writing in that last album. I think you would want a robot to write his next piece of work. You know what I'm saying? He probably said, hey man, give me College Dropout, yay. And maybe the people is gonna like this more than his sex-driven garbage that he's been coming out with his last few albums. So yeah, man, this guy here is a piece of work. Yeah, man, more agenda stuff.
Yeah,
So you're out here promoting these things. This is another promotion of agenda things that you're supposed to be fighting and saving the people from. At least I
yeah,
thought. You know what I'm saying? And to try to mind fudge everybody, you know what I'm saying? Bait and switch and gaslight, trying to compare this to auto tunes. This ain't auto tunes, bro. You know what I'm saying? And how can I guarantee that you made those beats yourself?
right.
What's
Yeah,
stopping you from doing a completely AI generated album next time and calling that revolutionary? Look, I was the first person to do that. No, you're the first idiot to think that that was actually art. So, yeah, Kanye, you're just making me more and more irritated the more these goofy stories come up. And by the way, and we laughed about this before because we were covering Kanye with his spiraling out of control about a couple years ago. You know what I'm saying? And then we both realized we didn't really have to say much, but we both realized that we're not going to talk about Kanye this week because he's just being an idiot. We're not going to talk about Kanye this week because he's just being an idiot. But these last two situations that we're bringing up here, see, Kanye's got a back to back. I don't think we've ever had a back to back person, but he's worthy of this because of how ridiculous he's now being. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Kanye, you win, bro. You're on the top of every headline, but you're on it for all the wrong reasons. So I can't get with this, bro. Not at
yeah.
all.
I don't like it, man. I remember. I think it was the Watch the Throne. There was a companion movie that was a
Mm-hmm.
documentary on the process that they went through when recording Watch the Throne.
Mm-hmm.
And man, Kanye, man, like it was like there was an orchestra in there putting together these songs. Like there was a percussionist, you got somebody with the saxophone, you got somebody with the trombone, you got somebody in there with the guitar. It looked like a symphony orchestra was in the room with them while they were making all of these songs. And I get it, man. People evolve and change and things change. But Kanye West, as somebody who upholds himself as like a preserver of art and creativity, in
Mm-hmm.
my opinion, should be doing everything he can to preserve that, not erode it.
Nah, his thing is I'm cutting edge, man. I did it first. Y'all gonna scold me for it, but 10 years later, y'all gonna say I was a genius in the
Yeah,
first.
yeah, yeah. I'm the
That's what
smartest.
he on.
Yeah, he's on that. I'm the smartest guy in the room
Yeah,
stuff.
that's what he on.
Yeah, yeah. So to him, this is doing that. Yeah,
Yeah,
to him, using AI is preserving creativity.
correct.
And if you don't see it yet, if you don't see it yet, it's only because you don't get the vision.
Uh,
But you'll see it in due time. You'll
yeah,
understand everything he was trying to do.
get out of
Um, and all of that pretentious BS is fine and good, right? All of that pretentious BS is okay,
here. Mm,
except for the fact that you are putting people out of work in the process, which is what I
yeah,
have the biggest problem with.
mhm,
The elimination of people is AI's true purpose, and until people realize that, we are going to continue to be slaves to this stuff.
yeah,
And I'm not a fan of it, man. So I don't like this, and I don't like anybody else who tries to forcefully infuse AI into their art. I'm not a fan of it. Unless you can convince me that doing it is not going to jeopardize someone else's livelihood, I'm always going to rail against it.
yeah. And so we'll see, man, if any of this AI generated lyrics can be thought provoking. You know what I'm saying? Strike a chord that make you want to, you know what I'm saying, shed a tear. We'll see if it does that. But I don't think it has the capability to do so. So we'll see, man. Because it's not going to stop here. And I'm pretty sure there's already AI stuff out there. If you watch the reality show, man, and you know that little generic ass music they'll play, to transition from one scene to the next or whatever. They used to hire people for that. But now that stuff is sounding real AI. It's sounding real fake as hell. Like, look at this generic ass. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So there's gonna be a whole bunch of people. Because what's stopping them? They're gonna just say that, oh yeah, I use this application that makes now what do you call it? Royalty free music or
right.
whatever. Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's just AI, AI.
creative. Yeah, creative common stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so this is just the beginning. So yeah, if he wants to be this musical genius pioneer, the guy who orchestrated the best AI generated album of all time, that's what he's gonna feel like he did.
no, I don't even know if I don't even know if we'll be able to tell the difference because at
Uh,
this point, at this point, I'm questioning everything because as far as I'm concerned, AI could have wrote the lyrics to Yeezus and Donda.
hey.
So I don't even know if we could I don't even know if we'd be able to tell the difference.
Oh boy. Hey man. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that, man. Music is one of my, I listen to music all the time, man. And I cross all genres, man. And last thing I wanted to see is AI get into that. It feels so blasphemous to me.
It
But
does.
but
Yeah.
here we are.
I mean nothing is sacred anymore.
Mm,
Nothing is sacred. Nothing.
crazy.